First off, we have another Ancient Imperiosaur shell, something that's really impressed us in the green-red version. Thank you, Hair, for the 29 months. This is a different variant. Still playing Chatterstorm to convoke out Ancient Imperiosaur. This is a kind of a mono-green storm deck. The goal is still to convoke out Ancient Imperiosaur, but in addition to this card, you also have Thrasta, Tempest Roar as not quite as good, but also a similar payoff in this shell that's playing lots of 0-mana creatures and wants some kind of big payoff after those 0-mana creatures. So we have some interesting tech here. So compared to the green-red version, that version had basically 12 0-drops, 4 Ornithopter, 4 Memnite, 4 Burning-Tree Emissary. This one has 20, which is a pretty significant upgrade, which is going to give you a lot more turn 2 Thrastas, a lot more turn 2, turn 3 Ancient Imperiosaurs. So this is kind of how I'm thinking about the mana curve. You have your Minmites, your Burning-Tree Emissaries, your Manamorphoses, your Hidden Herbalists as your like kind of obvious 0-drops, but like the cool techie card that I'm actually really excited about is Quirion Ranger. Quirion Ranger in combination with either a Hierarch or a Dryad Arbor is going to not only function as a 0-mana spell, a card that like replaces it self-mana wise, you get to play it, untap your Dryad Arbor, untap your Hierarch, make a mana that you play it, but this is also a card that taps for mana for Ancient Imperiosaur too. So I think this is like in a very similar way to Wall of Roots, Quirion Ranger is like a double convoker for Ancient Imperiosaur, which I think is kind of cool and interesting. You can also play defense with Quirion Ranger and a big dinosaur. You can swing in and block, which is going to be important in some racing situations, which is cool. I always like playing the 8 Hierarch tech. I think the 8 Hierarchs do make the Thrasta a good amount better. Attacking for like 9, 8 tramples. It's pretty important. Yeah, and this is the mythical Dryad Arbor deck, a card that I always hate to play, but I do think to give yourself a consistent Quirion Ranger is really important. And also, like, if you're flooding out and you have a bunch of Hierarchs in play, getting a Dryad Arbor is, like, you know, something to do. Let's go. We got some other decks prepped up for today, but been a good week so far. Okay, yeah, keep this. We have the Quirion Ranger to turn on Revolt for Hidden Herbalists. We're gonna maybe need to find a Dino off the Oath of Nissa or a Draw Step, but if we miss, if we can miss on Oath of Nissa, we can still go Herbalist, Chatterstorm for 5. So we have a 2/2/2s and 5 1/1s and the Quirion Ranger then Hierarch on turn 2. Of course, this is all dependent on my Ignoble Hierarch living. But how often does Ignoble Hierarch even die in Modern? Like, never. Probably not against the Blooming Marsh. Oh, the Hierarch Mirror. Okay, cool. Very cool. So, I mean, Imperiosaur is our best pickup here. Let's see what we draw. Boseiju. Not a very good draw. Imperiosaur! Alright, well, there's the Dryad Arbor, huh? That's okay. This was part of the plan. So we're going to return our Forest, untap here, which triggers Revolt. And what's cool about Imperiosaur is that if we draw it, we can still cast it here. Not a bad turn, too. Cyclopuppy, 14 months, thank you. Stringergeist, and a Birds of Paradise, okay. Maybe a little slow here, sadly. Would be good if it gets a lot of decks, though. AWAC included win. Well, if you've been tuning into the stream this week, we have been playing that version all week. I don't think you can play it in this version, too. Is this like the next worst matchup? I don't know. I'm just playing. No, you can't. The wax are really hard to splash. I don't know. Again, I think you just play the green-red version we've been playing for the wax. Maybe. Well, we have, we still have a lot of payoffs. They're just not here. 5-color cat invasion. Yeah, we've been talking about this. I think it's a fun idea. Get our Dryad Arbor. Where's the Yabba so we can pick up Boseiju with Ranger? It doesn't make the cut. The unsurprising Yawgmoth. Yeah, Imperiosaur has been really good. I would be playing 4 Hexmage to start off your playtesting, I think. I do know that the card is like pretty tough to cast, and the biggest challenge is going to be your mana base, and I don't know, I've been like really scratching my head a little bit trying to figure out the best mana base for these requirements, and been a little stuck. So we draw an Imperiosaur. It's kind of weird. I mean, it like is maybe our best pickup here because it's going to be able to swing for super lethal next turn. We found a Burning-Tree and a Thrasta. Okay, well I guess I'm taking the Burning-Tree. Wrong Dino, but I'm gonna sit with everything besides the Hierarch. Just see what happens. Yeah, maybe just, well, maybe -2 endings, +1 Invasion of Ergamon, +1 Hexmage to start. Mana base is like a really big challenge, but like ultimately Triumphs solve a lot of problems. And it's gonna end up being fine. I would even like wonder if you're not supposed to play Boseiju just because your mana is so stretched with the Hexmage. That's something you could consider. But it looks like you have a good draft here. It looks like you have a good, like, safe draft. It just needs, like, playtesting, really. So that's 7. They're currently taking 4 down to 3. I mean, Yawgmoth doesn't perform super well on this low life total. But, I mean, it was 6 cards drawing up to 7. They're probably going to be able to get there. It's a good start for me, although, you know, they probably have a Court of Calling at this point. Yeah, there it is. So Court of Calling for Blood Artist. It's probably good enough, right? Yeah, it's definitely good enough. Okay, let's go to game 2. Close one. If we had a Dino, we were doing some good work there, huh? Honestly, not really much in the way of a sideboard here, but I think it's okay just trying to stick to our plan A, put a big trampling dinosaur into play, pressure their life total. Definitely gonna be something that's gonna be better on the play than on the draw. The other thought about the cat deck is cutting Hexmage and the Gruul Battle for either Omnath, Teferi, or more interaction so you can play Giganta. Yeah, I think that, you know, that is a direction to go. I tend to like to just, like, be a little bit more linear on my first drafts, so if that makes sense, if that's the right word. Alright, very similar hand to our first draw here. Going to keep, hope to find a payoff. White Leyline stops the combo. No, it doesn't, because they just like draw their deck and they Boseiju the White Leyline. It's just like it's not enough. I would not recommend bringing it in. I think I'm gonna fetch to thin here. Super marginal. I do like that, like, both of our hands have been able to, like this hand can cast Thrasta or Imperiosaur if we draw either. Okay, let's go Burning-Tree, Manamorphose, just to see, like, are we drawing a Dino? We have 8 of them. No Dino. I won't have Revolt until I Quirion Ranger, so let's go untap here. Basically the same turn we had last time, although this time we also get to play Dryad Arbor. It's a fun deck. I feel like you're gonna get to do this thing like basically every time. Hope it's good enough. Maybe it's like a little underpowered, but this is, you know, a strong turn 2 again. We can still draw Imperiosaur, just put a 20/20 into play. That was, you know, if we draw that next turn. Yeah, another 2/2 to the board. I think Quirion Ranger is the tech that's like really exciting me too. Right, they're at 9. I remember that you're not the biggest Pauper fan. Is this true? No, I am the biggest fan. Of all the Magic players in the world, I like Pauper more than anybody else. Pauper's fine. I played a lot of it. I've played a lot of like Affinity and Mono Blue Delver. I think that Pauper, in a similar way to Legacy, is a format that's become worse with the implementation of like Legacy only cards, Commander only cards. I think that the like initiative spells are just an overall negative addition to Pauper. Well, not a lot of thinking with this this deck after you do your sequencing. Targeting the Burning-Tree is really weird here. Would have thought that they would have targeted a 1/1. I think we're gonna get this one. We're gonna need a Dino probably for game 3. Just the Chatterstorm's not too bad, you know. But we're gonna need a Dino. Like, they're taking 6 down to 1, and Yawgmoth is just a deck that ceases to function at 1 life, usually. What do you think of Court of Calling as a second payoff spell? Thrasta is cool, but it feels like you need to have it in your hand prior to storming off. What are we courting for? Ooh, close one, but Dryad Arbor? Dryad Arbor, despite all of this shit I've talked over the years, getting it done. I've actually, like, never seen explosives out of Yawgmoth, or maybe I'm just like never the deck that's getting explosives cast against it. That's funny though. Dryad Arbor getting it done. Presumably, we'll see. No, explosives will not kill Dryad Arbor because it's a land. This is non-land permanence. Funny enough. Maybe they think that's what's going on. Yeah, that is a rough card to see. I mean, I don't know. It's actually, we're way better against explosives in this build than in the green-red 8-whack version that's playing the Kadath Rebirth and the other Kadath Rebirth. Okay. Now, we're going to need a fast Dino. You know, I think that this deck, like the 8-whack deck, is very difficult to mulligan. Very difficult to mulligan. You just kind of need to do your thing. And this hand, I think, is close enough. We have 3 draws before our second turn with the Manamorphose and our 2 draw steps. I'm going to keep, again. My opponent's also on a Mold of 5, which is nice. I'm going to have to draw well. I'm going to hold the Windswept Heath for Hidden Herbalists unless I draw another fetch land. Yeah, so we have enough Storm now to cast Dino, or sorry, the Convoke Dino at least, or also Thrasta. We just need to draw one of them, which has been the catchphrase of this league so far. Can we draw one of our 8 Dinos? We've had the early game, we just haven't had the Dinos themselves. All right, Brick. We've had Chatterstorm at least. Okay, there's a Thrasta. There's a Thrasta. And we get to play it with a second Hierarch. Which means we're hitting in for 9 trample here. Maybe would have preferred the other Dino, but this is not bad. This is turn 2. Dalton, 43 months. And what's cool is we've done, you know, even if we lose this game or whatever, we've done this all 3 games. All three games, we've just been able to do our thing. My opponent also has a pretty awkward Mold of 5, so actually likely we're just gonna get the job done. Oh boy, we drew the Dino. Oh, sorry. Actually, way better to attack for trample here against Yawgmoth. I thought that I could also cast the Imperiosaur. To be fair, you're playing against a deck that can't kill your Hierarch. Might be hard against an Holy Heat Index. Yeah, I mean, obviously. I don't know. This doesn't seem like a great matchup either, though. Which is maybe we're gonna say this the whole league. I don't know. I just think the evaluation of is the deck able to do its thing. That's important for, like, you know, even considering it in the first place. Is this deck broken? Probably not, but I do agree that Modern's Interaction is likely going to be able to keep the Dinos in check. But it's cool. It's doing a powerful thing. We'll see about how good it is overall. So this is a classic. I want to get Dryad Arbor for Quirion Ranger, but I don't have a second land. His hand is very close to a turn 2 Thrasta, though. Yeah, I think I have to mulligan this one. It's very close, though. Like this hand. Let's see. Am I putting back the Oath of Nissa, or am I putting back the Hierarch? I'm not sure. What makes you prefer Oath to Abundant Harvest? This can find Dino a little bit more consistently. Does a Ranger give you mana turn 2? Okay, you tell me... Ranger. How? I didn't have a... to untap Dryad Arbor, I need a different forest to untap, right? What am I missing? Yeah, you can play Mana Elves over the Hierarchs for budget purposes. Bounce land, replay land. Oh, duh. Fuck. Yeah, so I should have kept it, just not got Dryad Arbor. What am I... Yeah, of course. Okay, yeah, that first hand was a keep. Let's sort of mold to 6. I think if I draw Quirion Ranger off the top, I can Imperiosaur next turn, right? Oh, right, I did that in the past, too. I convoked, it's weird, because I feel like I'm tapping it for green, convoke, but yeah. I did that before, where I tapped Mana Dork for mana instead of convoke. Because the interface is a little weird. We also, I guess, yeah, Quirion Ranger will give me Revolt for Hidden Herbalists. Okay, Esper Sentinel. Another not kill by Mana Dork deck, which is fun. I guess I'd be one short anyways. So I think I just have to play my 2 drops. We can hold the Memnite for like Theoretical Storm. We're just tapping it for Convoke next turn anyways. 4, 5, 6. Need to draw a land or a 0 mana creature though. Which is, you know, like most of our deck. Quirion Ranger counts. Esper Sentinel, this is very rare that I'm playing a deck where Esper Sentinel is like pretty bad against me. Quirion Ranger would be also good so I can attack and block with Imperiosaur. Okay. And I'm gonna get Dryad Arbor here. So I can make my Dino bigger. Okay, hold on. I guess, yeah, sorry, either way this is fine. Just gotta make sure I tap that for Convoke. Alright. This card is big. They're at 18, it's an 18-18. One hammer they're just chumping. Herbalist only works with fetches and Revolt main phase. Quirion Ranger triggers Revolt. Yeah, we are, yeah, so finally. Finally, a good deck for Dryad Arbor. Okay, we're gonna bring in these forces. Fun deck for sure. Could be cutting Manamorphose, could be cutting Oath of Nissa. Let's cut the Oath of Nissas, but I think either one's could be better. Just try out some sideboard plans. I'm convinced Galta is better than Thrasta. It's Galta Primal Hunger, right? Does Galta Primal Hunger go over your total creature power or greatest creature power? I can't remember. Total power of creatures you control. Okay, so you have to have 10 power for this card to cost 2. We can you know, be looking to understand how often we have 10 power. Okay, so we can go Quirion Ranger, pick up Forest, Herbalist, Manamorphose. Thrasta is like much worse than Imperiosaur in this matchup. We also don't have Force. We are also like 2 spell shorts of Thrust anyway, so let's mulligan. Ugh, too many dinos this time. I think we have to keep on 6. Unfortunately, this deck does not mulligan very well. Yeah, Ghalta is what? A 12/12 trample, right? Could maybe be holding this for, like, Chatterstorm. Yeah, we'll be thinking, like, how castable is this compared to Ghalta? Like, Manamorphose, Memnite, Quirion Ranger are all way better with Thrasta than with Ghalta. We could maybe play one Ghalta if we feel like we need 9 payoffs also. Doesn't have to be complete splits. March my Hierarch, man. Can I talk about not forcing thinning? Well, here it's really easy. This is my revolt trigger for Hidden Herbalist. There's no world where I'm just throwing it away to thin. They get a Cauldron. We're probably gonna go to game 3. Cauldron should be placed with mana if we go Ghalta. That's true. That's true. Okay, one short of Thrasta, right? Great Hinge, an option to win more. Almost definitely win more. It's like only castable if you have a Dino already in play. We get Thrasta, can we? So we go... Oh, you know what? No, we can't, right? Because we go Emissary, Herbalist, Hierarch. We have 2 mana floating, and then Thrasta costs 3. Yeah, Thrasta costs 3. But this is enough to cast the Thrasta now. Guess I should be Herbalisting after Emissary. Why not play the Hierarch for Storm Count? Yeah, if Thrasta did cost 1 less mana, the card would be much better. Can't Imperiosaur this turn. Can play it next turn, which is cool. Kind of slow, obviously mulligan. Again, this deck is not going to mulligan very well. But no, we get to attack for 8 this turn, 8 next turn, play a giant Imperiosaur next turn. Could maybe draw a Force of Vigor, hard cast. What is this? Yeah, I can play the other Dino next turn. Now we're gonna need a 0-mana creature or a land. What's cool is Dryad Arbor, again, just like last game, we can fetch Dryad Arbor and convoke it to Imperiosaur. Yeah, they are doing the same pose. I guess this is just the T-Rex pose, huh? Thrasta has lightning. Wait, is Thrasta like a lightning elemental dinosaur, or is it just like being stricken by lightning here? This one is being stricken by fire. Okay, so I did draw Force of Vigor. My Hierarch is dead, so I can't hard cast it. Oh, maybe I should have convoked the Imperiosaur here. I was thinking I was going to pitch. But maybe it's just better to convoke. 14/14 trample. No, I need to kill the Saga before they get Shadow Spear. I'm just like not beating Shadow Spear. Which really stinks, of course. Like, I wish this was the case. Them killing 2 of my Hierarchs here on this mulligan to 6 was tough. But the Cauldron's also, you know, that's a good card against us. Okay, Surge, stopping my Force. We'll go to game 3. Ashoth, 8 months, and thank you. On the play. No payoff and no cantrip, although I did cut my Oath of Nissa's. No Force of Vigor, I think we have to mulligan. I have a Boseiju. Although I kind of need to keep Revolt for my Herbalist. And I also can't mulligan. Again, this deck is just not a mulligan machine. So I guess I'd leave the Boseiju in the deck. NC, I think for the 3 months. Giver of Runes. Might play my second Hierarch, we'll see what we draw. Burning Trees, so... Yeah, one Storm Count short, I think we're gonna... wait. But any land, any 0-mana creature lets us Thrasta next turn. Although Cauldra is still very good against us if that's what they're getting. Do you think Commune with Dinosaurs would be worth it? Is it better than Oath of Nissa? What's the text on Commune with Dinosaurs? Top 5, dinosaur or land? Maybe. It's like, this is, I mean, obviously Oath of Nissa being able to find, like, burning trees, Quirion Ranger is kind of cool. 5 is a lot more than 3, though. And, like, a lot of times you are, like, really looking for a payoff. We should have played the Dork last turn, I think. Well, so holding Dork is better if we draw 0-drop. Playing it is better if we draw Dork, right? I guess if we can cast Thrust either way, then we should have, but I don't think we were able to. Yeah, but this Cauldra seems to be very good against us. Oh, whoops. Okay. Let me go ahead and let's... Actually, I think I want to try Commune with Dinosaurs. I know we're 1-1. I know this is weird. I want to try Commune with Dinosaurs. I was holding priority and I clicked control a little too late. It's like, I really like that it digs you 5 cards deep for your payoff, and also 5 cards deep for a land, which is like, a lot of times, like, in this 16 land deck with Oath of Nissa, it's like, Oath is like not that likely to find me a land. In a Galta? Maybe. I think right now I'm still just gonna be thinking about, like, Galta versus Thrasta in spots, and so far Thrasta's been more castable. Although, again, we would also have to play Mana Elves over the Hierarch. So the Hierarchs are way better with Thrasta, attacking once. I think because, like, a lot of times you're just attacking with one big creature, you do want the Hierarchs instead, but we could try that version too. We can get weird with it today. Yeah, also getting to register this in Modern is very cool. Okay. This is a turn 2 dinosaur. If my Hierarch lives, we're up against the Gigantid the Wellspring. Is it turn 2? 1, 2. Maybe we're a little short. Maybe we're 1 storm short. Because we go Hierarch into Quirion Ranger, pick up Forest, untap Hierarch. Memnite, Chatterstorm for 3. And then the Hierarch. Yeah, then we have Hierarch, Quirion Ranger, Chatterstorm, Memnite, untapped for 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh, that's only 6, though. It's only 6. I think we still play the Hierarch. You know, most spells are going to let us, even any 1-mana spell lets us, Imperiosaur. Just, lands are brick, dinos are bricks, right? Yeah, we did end up adding Commune with Dinosaurs. Float mana of Hierarch turn 2. I was planning on it. I was planning on using the mana. I think we're still 1 short, right? Maybe we have enough. Maybe we have exactly enough. Maybe my Hierarch dies. Maybe they play Ragavan. Please play Ragavan. Damn. It's fine. You get Dryad Arbor now. Good deal, Coco Gensack Brew. You're still hanging today's Modern. I think the scam version of Sacrifice is better, and I recommend playing that version instead. Tin Can, 5 months, thank you. Well, that's Modern, huh? Holy Heat Thoughtseize. Don't think against Grixis Shadow I'm bringing in the Leyline of Sanctity. Mostly want those against, like, the Grief decks. See what we draw. 16 lands, by the way. Yeah, I thought for sure we get Thoughtseize bugged. I like that we can still cast a Imperiosaur if we draw one. We have Commune with Dinosaurs. We could top deck, go Commune into Imperiosaur maybe. We're probably down. We're probably dead. You count Dryad as half a land? No, I don't. I count it as a land. I don't know. Like, there's no such thing as half a card. You know what I mean? And it's like, in fact, you're really counting on it to make mana with Quirion Ranger in a lot of games, so... I feel like, I don't know. People will say, you count this as half a land sometimes, and I just don't know exactly what that means. Alright, little girl. Acidic, thank you for the 8 months. Okay, we can still Imperiosaur, but we can't anymore Commune into Imperiosaur. Scry 1 is half a card. It is not. This is the dumbest conversation that Magic players continue to have over and over and over again. How many cards is scrying worth? 0. The answer is 0. The answer is 0 unless in the late game you're scrying lands to the bottom and you're in top deck. That's the only time it's worth a card. It's 0. The answer is 0. People always go, scry 2 is worth about a card. It's not. It is not. Shut up. Scry 10, 0 cards. No cards go to your hand. If Scry 2 was worth the card, you know, the stupid 1 mana Surveil 3 flashback, that card would be like insanely broken. Depends on the deck. Yeah, I'm being a little hyperbolic, but it's just like, it just is so dumb. Like, scrying is just a different thing from drawing cards. It is just a different thing from drawing cards. Good hold for Stormcat. I think blanking Thoughtseize is a little bit more relevant. Opponent's taking so long on every decision. So spooky. Alright, 3 cards in their hand. I mean, if we, again, we still have Imperiosaur as a pretty nice out here. I don't think we're able to start just sending our 1/1s in. Send them for 5, 4. I mean, they have to have, like, literally nothing. I'm just gonna pass. Yeah, 16 lands, by the way. Should we not fetch a keep off drown? Well, they're not able to... Oh, yes. I thought it was 8. It's 7. Yes. Yeah, but if we commune into Dino, they can drown. Although, we actually can just concede because they're just going to attack me with the flying now. I love when I'm able to concede. Okay, I'm going to run it back. Yeah, I do think this is, you know, these kind of decks are weak to one mana interaction into 1 mana interaction on the first 2 turns. Obviously, you'll win sometimes. I don't think we're supposed to bring in Leyline. No, we're not going to bring in Chalice on 1. I think. We could. I mean, we have 16 1-mana spells, which is like a little bit less than theirs. I feel like we just like lose to their Ledger Shredders if we sit on the Chalice on 1. Could be wrong though. Could be good. Leyline's more for scam, right? Where they have Grief and Thoughtseize. They just have Thoughtseize and like maybe an Inquisition or 2, but they can also have like Necromentia against scam. I think against Grixis Shadow. I don't know. Maybe we're supposed to be bringing it in. I don't know. I'm actually kind of talking myself into it. Yeah, I know it's crazy. Well, maybe we should. I think I want to keep Manamorphose over Commune with Dinosaurs. Or maybe I want to playtest Commune. We could do maybe 2/2. Too late. Just one of the... I think you're cutting like one of the 2 cantrips whenever you're bringing in your sideboard card. Oh, we have them. So these could have been 2 Commune with Dinosaurs, which I maybe would have preferred. I mean, they can never get rid of a Leyline of Sanctity, so I can hold another one in case they have, like, Kroxa, which is something they do have sometimes. Runs on a mold of 5, also. We're gonna need to draw really well. Tough, tough, tough. I think I'm gonna hold the Hierarch. I might want it for Storm Count. Save this for a Revolt. We're chilling. We're gonna be like just waiting until our hand draws up into some action. I don't think that we're able to just like play to the board and let them use their cards on time. You can just like blank their hand if they're holding up removal. Dryad Arbor does not add Storm Count. It is 16 lands, by the way. I don't know. It could go lower. It's a little kind of deranged to go lower. Although the thing is, like, with Quirion Ranger, you operate off one land pretty well. We could go lower. Especially now Commune Digs 5. We go to 15. Probably not lower than 15. Unless we played Abundant Harvest. If I draw a land, I'll cut a land. Not quite. Yeah, we'll hold that for Thrasta Storm Count, I think. 4 lands for 4 harvests. Will this plan work with an elves go wide plan? I've had an elf shell too. You could play elves potentially. I don't play Cavern, no. The plan is to like cast a thing on turn 2 and like get underneath counter spells, which is not always gonna, you know, happen on turn 2. Yeah, but it's like it's so lethal to draw. So lethal to draw 3 lands even. To draw 5 on the hand we have Leyline is really tough. Let's take a look at it. Let's take a look. Burning through play points today. So one thing too is like if we're cutting fetchable, cutting fetchable is kind of tough. So what if we cut a fetch and a fetchable down to 14? And again, Quirion Ranger lets you like survive on 1 mana. We could play 2 Abundant Harvest. We could play 2 Oath of Nissa. Land Grant would be awesome. Let's do 4 Abundant Harvest, 2 Commune down when we're down to 14 lands. Okay, let's go. Not even 8 might? I mean, I never even got around to playing that one. I don't know, it's okay. Like it's just like you lose the die roll, and then you're just like sitting there while like you lose every game that you lose the die roll, you know, or every match you lose the die roll. That deck is so bad on the draw. There's not much you can do about it. Okay. Weird hand. We're up against Gigantha. I think we keep this. They're on a mold of 6. Gigantha Urza Saga. Could be 8 Blast. Oh, they're Timeless Amulet. Very cool. Yeah, so we're definitely gonna need a Dino. 2, 3. Although I guess we can't cast. We can cast Imperiosaur next turn. I don't think we can cast Thrasta. Oh no, they're not Timeless Amulet. They're something weird. I've also been thinking about Mana Elves versus Hierarchs. Just Mana Elves would be better on your Chatterstorm draws, but the Hierarchs are way better on your Dino draws. Do you count your? Yeah, I'm currently counting my fetch lands as green sources. That was so weird. I was thinking about that like last night. Like, do people really not count their fetch lands as sources of mana? I was so confused. Okay, so Tron's online next turn. I'm attacking for 7. I could be attacking for 9 if these were like Llanowar Elves. Elvish Mystic. Still could be better. Well, we're all in. 14 lands, by the way. I don't know, like, what can I do? I just can't do anything to stop getting flooded every single game. We'll just go down to 12. We'll go down to 12. Freaking Reed Duke. Play more lands in your decks. Okay, Reed, I'll play more lands. You should promise me this. How much power do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Very notably, if these were mana elves, if these were like Elvish Mystic Llanowar elves, we would have won this game. Being able to, we missed 4 points of damage, or we're, total. Okay, well, not a lot to do here. Kill Karn, attack them. Yeah, but I guess Reed has the opposite curse. I have also seen Reed get mana screwed a lot. This is still green, right? Nomad, thank you for the 21 months. I don't think my Memnite's getting the job done. Let's go to game 2. But no, again, very notably, the mana elves would have won us that game. Let's finish this one. I know I'm just going through so many freaking play points, but it's all for the sake of brewing. But I'm starting to think that Elvish Mystic Llanowar elves... 14 lands, by the way. 14 lands, by the way. Okay, we're gonna keep this. Gonna put back the second Quirion Ranger. Canister, thanks for the raid. Hope you're doing well. We're playing Commune with Dinosaurs today. Why the Quirion Ranger? Quirion Ranger is awesome in this deck. So it's like a 0 mana spell for Thrasta, and it both like untaps an elf for your and taps for Convoke at the same time, same turn. So here we're able to go Quirion Ranger into 3 total mana, Memnite. I think we're one short of. I think we're still one short of casting the Thrasta, right? Thrasta is always so awkward. All right, let's see if we find the other dinosaur. No, just that one again. I do think we played the other Hierarch. All right, that's bad. So there is 16 months. Thank you. Yeah, Quirion Ranger also lets you operate on 1 land a lot of the time. Is Flinthorn Elves modern legal? I can never remember which one isn't, or maybe they all are. But I feel like I was thinking the other day how I haven't played with Flinthorn Elves in a while. I think I also fucked up by playing this stupid higher class turn. Llanowar and Elvish Mystic. Okay, let's add the mana elves instead. I think that they are better. I have no idea how many play points I have left. I think enough for a few more leagues. Becomes much more budget friendly too. Llanowar. Yeah, we switch to Hierarchs for elves because they have power, 1 power. And so like they make your Chatterstorm draws a lot better, and they do make your dinosaur draws a little bit worse, but I think that that's just fine. I think that it's more relevant to like have a little bit more of a cohesive, like random beatdown plan. Like we would have beaten that Eldrazi Tron player game 1 if our elves were higher, if our Hierarchs were elves, and that's like the second time that's happened that if our Hierarchs were elves we would have won. So now also the deck is like even even more budget friendly, although the sideboard is not. Zippopotamus, 10 months, thank you. Why not Wild Cantor as Rite of Flame? It doesn't. Wild Cantor does not work with Convoke that way, to my understanding. To my understanding, you cannot sack Wild Cantor and tap it for Convoke. Or at least I looked it up last night, and that's what every source I could find was telling me. If I'm wrong, I'm very interested in playing Wild Cantor. But I don't think I'm wrong. Cool. Yeah, I think Wall of Roots is too slow. Like you're trying to ideally cast a dinosaur on turn 2. And Wall of Roots doesn't really help you do that. 1 contested war zone for beatdown. 15th land, help with mana flood. Okay, we'll keep this. Xander's Lounge. Okay. We should be able to turn 2 Dino. Yeah, we can cast these 4 spells into Dino. If this lives, that is. Which... How often do mana owls live in Modern, does anybody know? Like a long time, or... like a short time? Still counts this if we draw, some spells. Okay. I think we just play this, hold the Abundant Harvest for Storm next turn. Good chance I'm getting Dryad Arbor end of turn also. How can you not tap Cancer for Convoke Psychic for mana? I don't know. A judge in chat can maybe answer that question. Okay. Arbor. Untap. We're getting Revolt off of our Quirion Ranger, so we can afford to fetch end of turn there. I think I'm just going to go ahead and try to not mess this up. So we'll go non-land. Green, green. Non-land. Too bad I can't also Chatterstorm. One cool thing is that you can... It's not going to be that relevant this game, probably. I guess it is, actually. I'm going to be able to block the Goblin Shaman, but the ability to untap your dinosaur with Quirion Ranger is cool. Alright, not a bad turn 3 through a removal spell and our turn 1 elf. Would Shadow be viable in Domain Zoo since they fetch shock aggressively? Yeah, somewhat. They should only be able to put 1 Archon into play here. Yeah, I don't think that 1 Archon does it. Maybe, or like, wins the game. It's not, you know, terrible. This is fun. Untap your Thrasta. So they have the Leyline Binding, which is less fun, huh? So do I trade Herbalist for Shaman? I think no. I think we're just going for it. Their life total. Just trying to fade the creativity at this point. Imperiosaur? No, wrong dinosaur. We can't, like, randomly play Thrasta, can we? Okay, they're F6'd. No name, 15 months, okay, thank you. Alright, they're down to 2. I mean, yeah, it's like creativity or bust, so honestly, like, you know, through all this interaction they've had, which isn't that much, I guess. It's okay to just be on creativity or bust. They're not conceding, so they probably have it, which is okay. I don't know, when did they not have it, right? Could have been creativity on 1. Yeah, them going up to 8 is a bit too much. Next game. Did we cut Manamorphose for Orvar? Beware of Iona on green. I don't know what I'm going to do about it. There's... Yeah, the cards like that you don't need to be too worried about because you're never beating them anyways. Okay. So I have 2, if I play Quirion Ranger turn 1, I have 2 mana turn 2, and then I get to go Emissary, Midnight, Herbalist, 2 mana floating. So if I draw another 0-drop or a Chatterstorm, I can turn 2 Imperiosaur if my Quirion Ranger lives, which is like a lot, but I also have Orvar. I'm never mulliganing at least. Dude, yeah, Camille Dinosaurs gets Orvar, that is cool. It's very cool. Reading Quirion Ranger again. You will live. Quirion Ranger gonna live. Yeah, so we have 2 mana next turn because we get to, you know, use the ability to replay the forest. So 2, we have 4 dinosaur or 4 creatures to tap to convoke. I really like the Quirion Ranger can make a mana and convoke an Imperiosaur in the same way that Wall of Words can, but on a 1 mana creature. So it's also like mana neutral for Thrasta. Morality, 17 months, thank you. Yeah, so we're looking to draw another Burning Tree, a Chatterstorm, another Hidden Herbalist, another Memnite. Another Quirion Ranger doesn't do it this turn. If we draw a land, also, we just get to put these into play and convoke next turn. Thought it'd been Imperiosaur and Jim Davis's old Loxabots decks. Yeah, I don't think it could be 3 colors, so... I mean, we've been playing a lot of like red-green, like 8-whack with Imperiosaur, and that deck has been pretty good. Opponent, please just untap and kill my stupid Quirion Ranger. Come on, what are we doing here? What are we doing? This is the worst. Okay, this is fine. Just when they just take forever and then they kill your thing. I hate it so much. You could kill my thing, it's fine. But if you take forever to do it, it's just the worst. Like, I'm just dying to draw my card. I have so many outs to turn 2 Imperiosaur. I really want to get Dryad Arbor. Should I wait a turn? I guess so. Yeah, I just love Dryad. We're 1 short of Ancient Imperiosaur here. But this gives me mana next turn too with the Dryad Arbor, and I can also convoke it to Imperiosaur for an extra counter. Is Green March for 1 green pitch? You can fetch a copy of any 2-drop in the field. No, that card is so awful. Never even think about that card again. Honestly, like just delete it from your database. Like the only way that card would ever be good is like if you like evoke something, like for 0, get to put it into play. But even then, it's just not good. It's like, oh, for 3 cards and a mana, I can get a second Burning-Tree Emissary if I already have a Burning-Tree Emissary. Just. I turn 2 to Fairy. Yeah, that's fine. But you keep cutting Manamorphose. Is it not the best storm emblem in the game? Dude, I'm bringing in sideboard cards. It's also like we have still a lot of 0-drops, but the Storm Enablers work with Thrasta and Chatterstorm. They don't work with Imperiosaur. I think that Imperiosaur is the better plan, and you still have enough Storm Enablers for the other cards, in my opinion. Alright, so we go untap, bounce, replay, Burning Tree first. Alright, so 16-16, Ward 2. They can't. This is actually just game, right? They can't have anything. Like, they can't binding it. Yeah, they have to have a path. Yeah, path good again, huh? Crop Dusters, 25 months, thank you. Alright, they're about to read Ancient Imperiosaur. Ward 2, baby. Ward 2 is so clutch. With the Orvar at hand, pretty cool. Alright, game 3. It's so funny that Commune with Dinosaurs can find Orvar. Although obviously they'll know about it at that point. We have to keep. It's a slow hand. We're on the draw. We have the Harvest. We have double Quirion Ranger, which can count as 2 for Imperiosaur if we have 3 lands on the Dryad Arbor or any other 0-drop here. That's actually a really good draw. Yeah, this is definitely going to be like a turn 3. Try to go for it. But it's actually kind of nice, right? Because hopefully they'll just like tap out for Fable, which is Fairy turn 3. We go Dryad Arbor, Ranger, Memnite, Chatterstorm, Imperiosaur. Do you have any Asmodex stuff finale? Yeah, there's the Sultai version with like Time Sieve, Fate Stitcher. It's more of a combo deck. Total power, 38 months. Thank you. I like it. It's honestly close between which is better between the two. Yeah, I can't quite Imperiosaur on turn 2. You need 3 0-mana creatures and a Chatterstorm. We just have 2. But then, that's adding to our storm count for next turn. Cast a Teferi. Cast a Fable. Nobody cares about either of those cards. Just cast them. That's right. That's what I thought. This card... Wait, it bounces my Imperiosaur next turn. No, wait, that card is good. Damn it. Oh. Damn it. Maybe we're looking for Thrasta now? I don't know. What can I do? I can commune. Yeah, I have enough mana to commune with dinosaurs and do the thing. There's Thrasta. Okay, so we're gonna cast. Can we do both? No, can't do both. Trample over Planeswalkers, though. Fun that that's happening here. Wait, maybe we could do both. Because I definitely cast like King Thrasta now. I can also go Quirion Ranger. Untap, but I need to use that. Yeah, I'm still short, so we'll have to do it next turn. Trample over Planeswalkers, baby. Thanks, Jesse. Prismari command. If they kill Dryad Arbor, I can bounce it with Quirion Ranger, so I need to not be F6. Okay. I think I can still play this. Maybe I'm a little short. So I have 3 mana, 2 storm count. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Am I really just 1 short? Seems like it. Quirion on Dryad Arbor. I'm counting the Quirion Ranger, y'all. This is or maybe I'm not. No, I mean it either convokes or casts the Imperiosaur. It doesn't do both. Right? So Quirion Ranger, untap Dryad Arbor, play land. That's 3 mana total. I use 2 of the mana to play a Chatterstorm. I have 5 creatures, and then I have the Dryad Arbor to untap, but it either taps for Imperiosaur or Convoke. So yeah, I think I just have to hold. Stinks. Also got 3 cards, drawing up to 4. We'll see how bad the damage is. It's tough for them to kill 3 creatures on that turn too. It's not super likely. We were doing good. It stinks. Actually, we're doing good against creativity. We're doing good against like binding 1 removal spell. We're doing good against binding Teferi Fable. We're just like specifically not doing good against binding Prismari Command. I think, or binding like 2 1-mana removal spells is like really the only spot we're doing bad. Also, my opponent has gotten bored and left again. All right, they're back. Just play Fable. Perfect. Big draw for me. Okay, so now I do have 1 more mana, so I should be able to cast Imperiosaur at least. What did I do wrong? Why can't I... I feel like I did something wrong here. Why am I still one short? You can? No, I have 6. I need 7. I bounced untap land. Did I really? I don't think I did. If I did, then I did. But I don't think I did. No, I did. Quirion Ranger. I must have miscounted last turn. It's okay. I am one short though. Do you not have a land drop? I've played my land already. I just must have miscounted. Yeah, only one to each turn. Bummer. Also, you know, we drew another dinosaur too, like any other card in the deck besides a land. Gets the job done. Yeah, I think I must have just miscounted last turn. I think I was too short last turn. Yeah, I really didn't think I was, but maybe I wasn't counting like the Quirion Ranger cast or something. Yeah, I need one less dino. Discard an Archon and discard a Prismatic Ending. You did not float from the Arbor? I don't think that that's true either. I don't know if someone has like a clip or something we could watch, but... I think I did. I think I was just wrong. Yeah, you missed that drawing a land wouldn't help because you already had a land drop from the bounce side. Oh, of course, yeah. Of course. Yeah, I didn't like hit my extra land drop last turn. Of course, that's what it was. Well, we're not completely dead, but we ain't completely alive either. I'll go home. Fine, we are completely dead. Tough game. Like, specifically the turn when they had Binding plus Smart Command was so rough. Like, we beat Creativity, we beat, like, Binding plus one other removal spell. But, like, Binding plus